Hello there. I hope you're well. I'm going to jump straight into it, right? If you're new to this space, just a little bit of what is happening here. I am committed to sharing my life journey with conquering stage 4 breast cancer and all of the experiences that I've had, some good, some bad, some, win some, lose some, dim some, whatever. But anyway, the purpose of this channel is not just to tell you, the struggles and everything. And I'm hoping that you or your loved one gonna learn from my experiences, from my mistakes, and all whatnot. So today I'm going to be talking about something very sensitive. Okay, whenever it comes to, it's very sensitive, and this is not for everyone. I'm going to just mention the category of people that I think might find this interesting. So if you're a parent, for example, if you have young children, if you're a parent, it doesn't matter how old or young your children are. If you have been a worker, you've worked so hard, you have accumulated some sort of wealth, or even if it's not that large, but you want to know what happens to your hard work when you're gone. You don't want it to go into the hands of the wrong people, especially if you are in a developed country where the government just steps in and takes over everything when you're gone, if you haven't put the right things in place. Okay, that is the second category of people. If you are a Christian, this one is for you. I say in particular Christians because my background as well, where I'm coming from, we say God forbid a lot. Meanwhile, in the Bible, it says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge, right? Lack of knowledge. He said my people, which means he's not talking about people who have not given their life to Christ. He's not talking about people who have not made Jesus their Lord. They have made Jesus their Lord, they believe in God, but yet they are perishing because of lack of knowledge. I'm not about to preach, I'm not a pastor, but ignorance is not an excuse even in the eyes of the Lord. So I hope you learn from this. I am talking about insurances. So in my previous video I mentioned what saved me or what helped us not to be homeless today in the midst of the challenge of dealing with breast cancer and all that comes with it. And that was income protection. And I did get some DMs and people asking me, is that throw more light on everything. So this is what I'm about to do today. I'm going to be as concise as possible. Okay, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, this is what I have done, and this is why I'm just going to tell you why I think it's important. You can do with the information whatever you please, we're old adults. Okay, so I'm going to just mention again a little bit for people who have not seen the video. By the way, you should go check it out. Okay, about the income protection. So income protection is a type of insurance, and it doesn't matter if you have a full-time job, if you're in the NHS, I'm speaking from England, whatever, if you're a government job, because the purpose of income protection is that when you are off work for a long time, okay, the amount of even full time, for let's take NHS for example, because I've been in both ships, right? NHS will pay you your full salary, I think just a couple of months. I've never been off sick when I was in NHS anyway, apart from pregnancy related. But from what I've heard, it's 6 weeks to 8 weeks full salary, and then it starts decreasing on and up until like 6 months, and then from that you would only get statutory sick pay, which is less than £100 a week. What are you going to do with that? If you have a house rent to pay, you have children and all of that, it's not going to be anything for you. But the income protection insurance, what it did for me was that it helped me. I was off work for almost a year continuously, right? And the income protection, though not paying me my full salary, but it was still giving me at least 65%. And what would have made my case even worse was because I went into agency work, and what that means is if you don't work, you don't get paid. All right, so imagine yourself in that situation. I couldn't work for obvious reasons for almost a year. Like, that means that there's no source of income whatsoever apart from statutory pay of, I think it was £72 per week at the time. What am I going to do with that? So that was really helpful to me and my family. So, and then there are other insurances. So that is what I'm about to speak about today. right? The other insurances that we did, we took out life insurance. We took out and in the life insurance, I think, or the different categories, right? You have the general life insurance. If anything happens to you, you get this payout to your loved ones, right? And then you also have the big three. So the big three is important because whilst it's not common, there you'd have to read the fine print, all right? But the big three covers illness. I think it's stroke, cancer, and heart disease. Heart disease or heart attack, one of these, the three of them. So if you had any of that, you are entitled to have a lump sum payout. Okay, and what I was paying, it was just for £4 a month, which was, you know, very, very sensible thing to take out, right? So on top of the life insurance and the life insurance and the big three, it was about £16-17, right? But my income protection, that was more expensive. You would pay depending on, with the insurer that I am using, you would pay depending on how much you earn, right? There's a way they work it out and all of that. So now, talking about the big three, that's another thing that really savaged our financial situation, because my husband was not working at some point, and then he reduced his hours, and then his hours is just working like once a week, even to this day, because, you know, I need a lot of help around the house with the kids and everything. So the income protection was helping, but then my current employer, God bless you so much, was so kind that irrespective of me being off work for a long time, this is the first 1 year was in 2023, and the current one is 2024, 2025. Yeah, but you know, that was another providence of God that they, under special circumstances, still left me, and they were pegging me, you know, my full salary. Okay, I praise God for that. That's a huge testimony for another day. Okay, so back to the insurance thing that I was talking about. Now, insurance, a lot of people, when you talk about insurance, a lot of people say, God forbid. Yes, God forbid. That would bring me back to the passage of the Bible where I quoted, right? Actually, let us find it so that I give you the exact, so you don't think that I'm making this up. Yeah, I'm not making it up. Let's find the exact place where it is in the Bible. Yeah, it is Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. Okay, Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. You need to find it, read it out for yourself. My people perish for lack of knowledge. He didn't say the heathen, he didn't say the people of the, he said my people, which means for God to say my people, that means the people, in my understanding, that have received him and have said, you are my Lord. Yet they are perishing for lack of understanding, you know, and knowledge. Knowledge is not power, it's what you do with the knowledge. That is what is power. But again, I'm not a motivational speaker. Right, so the insurance, what this insurance does for you is gives you peace of mind. Okay, it gives you peace of mind. The lump sum for the critical illness, I mean, you can say, what are the chances as a young person? I thought to myself, as a young person in my 30s, what are the chances that I will get cancer? What are the chances that I'll have a heart attack? What are the chances that I'll have stroke? But I still took it out, just, you know, and as God will have it, I had that backup as well. Right, that is for life insurance. Now, another thing that I find really, I don't know how I feel about it actually, people traveling. I love to travel, I love holidays, right? And my family, we try our best to go on holidays, right? And then people travel without holiday insurance, like no insurance, you just, no travel insurance. I'm like, okay, you're going to another person's country, anything can happen, literally. How much money do you think, even if you're coming back to the UK, you would take from out of your pocket if anything happens to any member of your family or yourself? So it's just a wise thing to do, to take out your travel insurance, I suppose, right? But since the cancer, when we're going on a holiday, my entire family travel insurance for 1 year was sitting around 90 something pounds, and that is Euro. Is it Euro or global? I don't have the full details, but it's about the family of 4, about 90 something pounds, right? But since the diagnosis, my own travel insurance skyrocketed, so I'm paying almost 4 times what my entire family was paying just for a travel insurance. And the reason is because you're high risk now. They think that, of course, because you have this, anything can go wrong. There are higher chances that something will go wrong. They are not. And thankfully nothing has gone wrong since I've been traveling. And you know, even with the diagnosis and all of the travels we have thankfully been to, which again is a major testimony on its own, right? So that in itself, it's a wise thing to do, I would suppose. But some people don't do it. I got a shocker of my life. Somebody was trying to sell me an insurance, but did not get, no, it wasn't me. He was trying to sell my husband an insurance, but his mother was coming from their home country and they didn't have a travel insurance. Again, this woman came here and landed in the hospital, NHS hospital. I'm like, okay, well, that is their problem to sort. They are adults. I mean, how can you be selling an insurance to someone and you yourself, you don't have one? You don't know to make provision for your loved ones when they are coming. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the reason why I said these things are important for yourself. Even like this insurance, the big three, I'm lucky enough to have used it, the income protection. I've used it, you know, while I'm still here. And in the eventualities, which again a lot of people would shake their head and say God forbid and move on from that, you know that you have the peace of mind that your family could be taken care of, right? And in my workplace, whether I don't know about NHS anymore, you know, but in the private sector, they have what you call insurance, the life insurance as well. Private sector also offer life insurance. There are pros and cons of that. You can research and check if your company has private life insurance, but I know that some of them would pay as much as 4 times your annual salary if you die while being employed with them. But again, check your contract and check with your HR what's happening in your company. Okay, there are other things. I said it's sensitive. Nobody is going to die. Nobody, I don't wake up hoping or thinking that today is the day I'm going to die. But again, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready to meet with my Lord whenever he calls. And when I'm getting ready to meet with my Lord, because I know that heaven is much better than whatever the earth has to offer, I need to make sure that the people that I have left behind and the hard work that I have put in this life does not just go to the hidden, does not just go to the wrong hands. Okay, and that is why it's important to make a will. When you say make a will, a lot of people just think, I used to think like that what am I making a will for? Like, what do I have that I'm willing to my loved ones? But even if it's the house that you live in, that is your own, that's the only thing you have, for example, or whatever, it doesn't matter. People have like jewelries, like golds and stuff like that. Where do you want it to end? Okay, I know that in where I'm coming from, in my original country, they don't really take a lot of these things seriously, and we know the stories that come out of it. Loved ones, you know, relatives coming, especially when it's the man that's dead and then it's the woman and the children. We know all of the things that happen, you know. So but it doesn't matter, man or woman, will is important, because you want to protect your assets. You want to protect that which you have worked so hard for. So no matter what it is, or no matter how much or how little you think you have made, you want to make sure that it ends up in the right hand. And good thing with the will is that you can always modify it. And there's one that when I was reading the wordings, and like, because I thought that, okay, for example, if I get a house, if I get an investment property, for example, or I add investment property to, you know, I have to make a different will. No, when you make a will, the lawyers, you just speak to your lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot advise you. Just speak to a lawyer, and they will tell you the different categories. But the wills are very important, especially in the Western country. We have had stories, and I've seen it happen, you know, after working so hard, and the government just comes and just sells your asset for peanuts and just does whatever. Or maybe you get to that point where you're not able to take care of yourself, and I'm not even talking about old age. You know, some people get, you know, life-changing accidents, or just life-changing illness that happens unplanned, and then what happens to their assets? And they are still quite young. they're still quite ill. What happens to that? Even if you don't have children, do you have any loved ones that you would rather out from? For example, I would rather whatever I own to go to someone I actually love than for the government to decide for me what happens with my with my sweat and my hard-earned money and assets, you know. So that is one thing with will. Another shocker that I got in all of this because I actually thought that, you know, next of kin is the power. Like, if anything happens to me, next of kin would have the say in everything that happens. Actually, it's not so. There is actually what it's called or you call lasting power of attorneys. Now, if you have a lasting power of attorney, there are different types. You have the financial and well-being, the financial aspect, and you have your health and well-being. So people that will make decision when it comes to your health or when it comes to your finances and assets, if you are not able to make that decision anymore, they trump the next of kin you have in paper. If anything happens that somebody is not able to make decisions for themselves, you need to just go to a best interest. The next of kin will not have any say about what happens, you know. He might have a suggestion in matter, but they are not legally, okay, let me not say they will not have any say, but what I'm trying to say is that their say, whatever they say, is not legally binding for whoever is taking care of you as their loved ones. So if somebody gets so ill that they cannot make decision about themselves, maybe going off the life blog or anything, you know, they might consult you, you know, and they say maybe this person would want to stay on the life support and fight for it as long as medically possible, or the other way around. But whatever it is that they've said is not legally binding as far as they are not the named lasting power of attorney. Okay, that was shocking to me because I thought next of kin, you know me better, you should be able to make decisions. So that one, lasting power of attorney, I'm going to be very frank with you. This is a very bare it all channel. I haven't quite gotten there yet. And then there's what you call advanced treatment, whatever, to refuse treatment. Like, that's several things that we need to think about, because tomorrow is not promised. And I'm not saying it to scare you. I'm saying it to prepare you. First of all, most importantly, prepare to meet the Lord Jesus Christ of your soul. And secondly, prepare for what you have worked for. Because what's the point of working this hard and doing all of this in sleepless nights, and, you know, and at the end of the day, nobody that you actually care about will actually, you know, benefit from it. There is really no point to that. Okay, so it's not just about getting insurances. Insurances are good, and God forbid will not do it for you. Honestly, gain knowledge, and in knowledge gain understanding of these things, because sometimes we are the ones that use our hand to put ourselves into problem, even though God is telling us this and that and bringing different aspects or different ways and telling us exactly what to do. Don't put it off. If you want to, don't put, like, this is not an order. It's not even an advice actually. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, this is what I have done. And if you want to look into it, please do not ask me. I'm not an expert in this. Find an insurer and speak to them. Find a lawyer and speak to them. Those are the people that will help you when it comes to an asset management. Again, for people who have a lot of properties, for example, instead of having it in your name, it will be better protected if you put it in a trust. Again, a lawyer would help you in this, or a financial advisor. I'm going to help you in this. So I hope that if people that are asking me, is that all you did? I've read it all to you now. This is all I did, and all that I still plan to do in terms of the lasting power of attorney. It is something that I'm going to do in the nearest future for myself, peace of mind, so I can focus and live the good life that God has given me each day. Okay, I will stop talking now. Wow, it's been a pleasure as always. Stay good, be encouraged. Everything is gonna be all right. Just peg it. Positive expectation of good. Till next time, this is me signing out. Have a lovely week. Bye.